Hello, everyone. My name is Crystal, and I'm the founder of Vintage Booth Pro. We have a website, a YouTube channel, and of course, our wonderful Facebook community where we are growing every day. I post what I sold every day just because I always want to know. I want to learn what's selling in my part of the world and how people are doing. I've been doing this since 2021. And really, I have learned so much, not only from my experience, but from the community and from people like John with Rhynes. So Rhynes is a sponsor of the Vintage Booth Pro website, and I'd like to give him an opportunity to introduce himself.
Yeah, so I'm John's. John. I'm one of the managers here at Rhynes.
Mhm.
We have been a wholesale home decor and furniture importer and supplier for over 60 years, since 1964. So we've been providing small businesses and booth owners across the country with high quality merchandise to provide their customers with for decades and
Yeah.
multiple generations of business owners here. So one thing that I wanted to talk about today was social media, and obviously it's a huge part of everyone's lives. It's a integral part of our
Yeah.
businesses, and so obviously, if you're new, if you're just starting out, there's some things that you can definitely learn. And just over the years, just wanted to share some of our experience with that. So hopefully you can take a little bit of a shortcut and learn from our life lessons and mistakes and the things that we've done. So I'm looking forward to getting started.
Yeah, so John has compiled a list of best practices, and this is one of the biggest questions we get in the group is how do you use social media to promote your booth and increase sales? So let's get into it. One of the first things that you talk about is picking the right platform, and
Mhm.
that is a tough decision. So tell me more about how you go about doing that.
Yeah, I know Facebook is really the big one right now that
Mhm.
everybody kind of jumps to first. But as social media evolves, it's important to really know where your audience is. And it may not be Facebook, it may be Instagram, it may be TikTok, it may be Pinterest. Really understanding where your audience is so you're putting in the right effort to get the best result is the most important thing. One thing that we really want to stress is tracking your metrics, being aware of the engagements, the likes, the saves, the shares, any amount of ways to track how people are getting involved with your account. It's really important. So one thing that we have listed here, uh, 82% of small businesses say that Facebook is their primary platform, followed by Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Um, but nearly 40% of all stores now sell through social storefronts. So obviously, it's a hugely important part of any kind of business nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. And one extra step on that is when you do pick your platform, and I choose Facebook. Like you said, everyone's on it. Um, go with a business account, like
Mhm.
use your business name. And I do highly recommend branding your booth, just it makes it more memorable for people. And when you have that business account, it gives you the opportunity to look at your metrics and your analytics.
Mhm.
So it's a little confusing. Maybe we'll do like a step-by-step walkthrough of how to use it. And Facebook and Instagram are all under the Meta platform.
Mhm.
It's a learning curve. However you do it, go with the business account. It gives you the opportunity to do ads if that's something you want to do. But most importantly, like John said, look at your analytics.
Mhm. Absolutely.
So the next thing is consistency over perfection. And that is a tough one because
Yes.
you always want to have it just right before you post it.
Oh yeah. That is definitely the thing I think I struggle with the most is wanting to make sure that what I put out is the best that it can be.
Hmm.
But really the best way to get better is just by putting in the reps. It's by just making posts, accepting that things aren't always going to be perfect, and really just building that consistency into your
Yeah.
life. The more you do something, the easier it becomes, the better and faster that you get at making those high quality posts. And then as your audience notices a more consistent rhythm, if they start
Mhm.
noticing trends in how you post, they're going to know to be aware of when you're going to be posting. So that way they'll know to look. They'll jump on social media, if you do lives, they're more likely to participate if they know
Hmm.
when and where you're going to be.
Right.
So it's really just setting up audience expectation.
Yeah. Absolutely. And if you are like me and kind of have an ADHD brain that doesn't like you start off the week posting consistently and then you forget, there are so many tools that are out there to help you schedule tools in advance or schedule posts in advance.
Mhm.
Highly recommend taking advantage and even using the platform's free tools to pre-plan and schedule those posts in advance, just so it is consistent.
Yeah, the Meta Business Suite has been a hugely helpful tool for us as
Hmm.
a company, just to take a couple hours in one day and set up
Yeah.
and schedule out all of the posts that I'm going to do for the month. Really,
Yeah.
one great part of that, the Meta Business Suite, is that for Instagram and even Facebook, any kind of hashtags that you want to use, it will give you data about which ones are popular, which ones are trending.
Yeah.
So if you're not sure how to generate interest or what kinds of things to include, it's very intuitive. It's really helpful. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to somebody with a little bit more experience, like Crystal or myself,
Mhm.
and we're definitely willing to help out.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another great thing about the Facebook community. Ask a question, and a lot of people will chime in and be helpful and offer any advice they have. Yep.
Absolutely.
Mhm. The next point that John brings up, and this is a guide, I assume you're going to give it to us in
Yes.
a downloadable format. So quality over quantity.
hmm Yeah, and in kind of speaking about the guide here, it's got metrics and things to really look for every one of these points. So we're doing a very broad overview,
Yeah.
but if you are interested in getting the full guide to see exactly what to track for each of these points, how do you
Hmm.
define success, leave comments, send me an email or a message, and I'd be happy to share this with you. As far as quality over quantity goes, this kind of goes in line with consistency.
Hmm.
It's one thing to put out 10 posts a week if they're just very minimal. You're probably not going to get a huge response, but if you put consistently two high quality posts out every week, you're not only going to get better and quicker at putting those out, but your audience is going to see the higher value that you are providing,
Hmm.
and they're much more likely to engage. I
Right.
think we all see those accounts every now and then where you can just tell that somebody's just trying to pump out something to
Right.
try and get likes. And you don't really want to engage with it. You
Hmm.
hit unfollow, you don't respond to it anymore. But if from the start you start providing value and your audience picks up on that, they're
Yeah.
much more likely to notice your post and your content through the whole mix of everything that we get fed on a daily basis.
Yeah, absolutely. And I forget the exact quote, but when you personally go to social media, you
Mhm.
don't go just for boring stuff. You go to be educated, entertained, or to learn something.
Mhm.
And if you're a crafter, do some behind the scenes shots. I always love shop with me type of videos. There's so many things that you can do. So it's like you said, it's all about quality. Will people enjoy it? Will they have an education or get entertained by it?
Exactly. And you're setting up these segues perfectly. So the next point in the guide is to
Uh-huh.
be authentic.
Right. Hmm.
People understand and really, I think, crave that authenticity
Yeah.
and that originality in the content. They don't want something that just feels corporate or copying or like cookie cutter. They want to see the real you. They want your personality. And the nice thing about being authentic is that no one else can copy your voice.
Yeah.
You are unique in how in your perspective and how you see the world and how you talk. So if you are sharing personal stories, you're injecting your own experience and life history into the
Hmm.
pieces you find, or how you put together a display, why you put together a display. It's all unique to you,
Yeah.
and that's how you're going to stand out the most, is just being authentic.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And it's a great place to tell the stories about the pieces as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see, what's next? Oh, this is a good one. Learn from your competitors. Don't copy your competitors, but learn from them.
Yeah, so this I think I think a lot of people do just try and copy things that
Hmm.
work. And obviously, if you're copying someone else, you're already behind the trend.
Yeah.
So you don't want to just copy content. You want to understand the format, the tone, what people are responding to, and using that, put in your own experience and information and personality, but do it in a way that other people are already willing and more acceptable of listening to.
Hmm.
So whether it's the way a post looks, whether it's all of a sudden reels are now becoming a lot more
Yeah.
engaging than static posts or just text. It's understanding what's working out there and letting your competitors sometimes do the hard work so you can reap the rewards, kind of like what we're doing now.
Yeah.
You are hopefully learning something from this, and then you are able to make that forward progression faster than we have by
Hmm.
learning these things. We're just now sharing them with you in a more digestible way that you can hopefully
Sure.
take it and run with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And occasionally in our Facebook community, we'll do like a share your business page,
Mhm.
and so you could go through and follow. And I'm telling you, my social media is all other vintage booths, so it's great. I get to see what other people are doing. I don't really see other booths as competitors, but
Mhm.
just ways to learn from other people, and also I can engage with them and help their content get seen a little bit more. But it's really cool to see just in the group what they're doing, what's working for them, and maybe try it out on my social media.
Exactly. And we're just hitting these one after another. So dovetailing off of that,
Yes.
not only just copy or not only just observing what your competitors are doing, you really want to
Mhm.
engage with other
Yeah.
businesses in your industry, in
Hmm.
your community. You want to connect with their audience because really no one's going to buy from you if they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
And a really great shortcut is to take someone that has already built up an audience and just connect with them,
Hmm.
provide value in a real authentic way,
Hmm.
and you will naturally have followers of theirs
Yeah.
come into your community.
Yep,
And honest,
absolutely.
to be very frank, that's why we have supported the Vintage Booth Pro community for so
Hmm.
long, because we want to provide real value for your audience, for small businesses just like you, and we know by doing that we're going to get more exposure.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people market in that same way. But we really believe in authentically benefiting small businesses across the country. And
Hmm.
on our own, our voice can't do that. So we need people like you, Crystal, to connect with your specific audience so that we can reach them, help them, and really we all succeed by growing together. There is definitely enough
Hmm.
for everyone to succeed out there.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah, we appreciate all your support. I know our group is, a lot of people are, they are strictly antiques, but many of us are moving into the modern and crafting DIY world even. So we cover the gamut in our community, and you support every piece of that. So, which is so great. So we truly appreciate your support.
Well, and even if you're not into reproductions or more modern
Hmm.
decor, I hope that some of these best practices with social media or the display critiques that we do, I hope that you are still able to take some value from those
Hmm.
things. I'm not looking to just make I'm not looking to just for conversions into customers for
Sure.
Rhynes. I'm
Right.
genuinely looking to help people in this community because I've seen the good that it does for small businesses that
Hmm.
can provide a life for their frame, for their family, and for their loved ones. So
Absolutely.
this
Yeah.
it's a big passion project of mine, if you
Yeah,
can't tell.
right. No, absolutely. And we've learned a lot from you so far and really helped support our community. And, that's why we're in this. Well, we're in this business to make money, and you help us do that. So, especially with the products, if you guys are ever in the Regal, Georgia area, it's like less than 30 minutes from Chattanooga. Definitely stop by, and you can even shop online and have things shipped to you. But being there in person is just really fun. Just bring your wallet because if you're like me, you can't control yourself. Okay, so moving on, the next step for best practices of social media is trust equals repeated interactions. So tell me more
Yes.
about that.
So I think that a lot of people get into social media management or getting into creating an account for their business and expect results right away. They
Hmm.
think sometimes that if I put myself out in front of people, I'm immediately going to see results. But really, people I think see through a lot of gimmicks nowadays, and
Yeah.
they want to know again, they want to see that you're authentic, that you
Hmm.
are there to support them, and you're there to provide value. So it takes time. It takes multiple interactions. I wouldn't ask help from someone unless I had proven myself that I was being authentic and
Hmm.
putting myself out there multiple times. There's a saying, I don't know how prevalent it is, but it's um, uh, the you're trying to think about the times that you provide value before you ask for a sale. And I think the saying goes like hook, 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 jab. So
Hmm.
it's you're basically just trying to think how much do I need to put myself out there before someone will actually even give me the time of day to consider a sale.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
really, right off the bat, just engage, just be
Hmm.
there, just provide value, provide interaction, don't
Right.
expect anything, comment, like, share things, just engage with your community.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one thing at the antique store that I'm in. We get a lot of support from our fellow vendors. So you put yourself out there and they're liking your content and they're supporting you. So
Mhm.
I think if you can network within your community of the shop that you're in as well, I think that would help. Because what is the saying about the rising tide brings all the ships up?
Yeah, exactly.
Your content does well, their content will do well, and it will increase everyone's sales.
And that's how the algorithm works. It
Hmm.
sees what people
Exactly.
interact with, and then whatever is interacted with more, it will push that into more of an audience.
Hmm.
So if you put out the goodwill and share it with others, they're more likely to share it with you. And just like you said, everybody succeeds together.
Right. Yep, absolutely. Okay, smart goals keep you focused. So what is a smart goal?
So SMART goal is something that's specific, that's measurable, that's achievable, that's relevant, and that's time bound.
Okay.
So really when you're setting goals for yourself, you don't want to just go to something outlandish. You don't want to think, okay, I just started this account. In the next 12 weeks, I want to get 1 million followers. I don't know that that is specific, but
Yes.
I don't know if that's achievable.
Right, right.
So just set, starts start a little slow, set achievable goals based off of what you really think you can do,
Hmm.
and give yourself a specific time frame. Keep it relevant just means, it's something that is directly going to benefit your business
Sure,
at this
right.
time, um, and make it measurable. So you can't really necessarily gauge how many people are seeing your content without engaging with it and then coming
Hmm.
into shop. If you want more of a measurable metric is going to be seeing the engagement increase over time from your posts. And then based off of that, if you see your sales increase, you know that, okay, people are engaging with my
Yeah.
content where they're not just seeing it, they're responding to it.
Hmm.
And that is leading them to come into the store to buy things that I'm posting online.
Right, right, absolutely. And there's ways that you can create interaction in your booth as well, like creating a QR code and
Mhm.
putting a sign up that ties it back to your booth. I think that I've done a video or a blog post on that. I'll link it. If it's really easy to do, it doesn't sound easy if you've never done it before, but it's super easy to do.
Mhm.
But that will help you tie in the sales to keep your goals, help figure some of that out. And also the analytics. So, if
Yes.
you check it once a week or, see which content is working, that sort of thing. And I think that might tie us into the next one.
Well, and really quick before we do
Okay.
that, one thing I want to clarify. So, when you're looking at metrics and goals that you can track,
Hmm.
really think about what's called leading indicators versus lagging indicators.
Hmm.
So, a lagging indicator might be the amount of likes and comments that something has gotten. A leading indicator is the amount of times that you post weekly, the amount of times you comment on someone else's posts.
Hmm.
It's things that are in your control that you can measure and say, I have done this X amount of times. You can't control how many people like your posts, but you can
Yeah.
control how many posts you make. So a lot of times I think we get a little focused on the end result,
Yeah.
and that seems to take more control away from what we do and with how we define success with our goals.
Right.
Uh,
This is a really good point. And it's hard to envision it unless you see the SMART goals. So maybe we can follow up in another video with that because I think this is a really, really important point when you're so busy making content that you need to keep your goals in mind.
So you started teeing it up there, but yeah. So
Mhm.
the next point, doubling down on what works. So when you're reviewing your goals, when you're reviewing your metrics, you're going to notice patterns of what posts are getting the most engagement, what things are leading to the most sales in store. So what you want to do is just identify the top 10% of those things that you're doing, just
Mhm.
for instance, and just increase that. Make that the primary type of post and type of content you create. And
Yeah.
every time you evaluate your content, there's always going to be a top performer and there's always going to be a bottom performer. The goal is over time, over months, over years, continue to identify what makes those top performers so successful and
Hmm.
repeat those things.
Yeah.
You can't improve something unless you measure it. And it
True.
really helps to be able to identify the patterns in what
Right.
makes something successful.
Right. Absolutely. And try different kinds of content. So whenever I do a refresh in my booth, I take a million pictures, I take videos, and I try to do like a carousel on
Mhm.
Instagram. I'll do a reel one day. I'll do just a single picture and tell a story about a product, just so I can kind of take a look back and see what really worked. So I post on Instagram and share it to Facebook as well. So that's all I'm doing right now, and I'm trying to keep it simple.
Yeah, and what works on one platform isn't always going to work on the other.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Instagram is obviously much more visual.
Hmm.
The captions aren't necessarily as important,
Hmm.
whereas Facebook, you really want to build more of an interaction. You want to build more
Yeah.
engagement with your community. TikTok is just about just very bite size
Yeah.
little bits of things that you can consume. YouTube, obviously, for something like this, it's a bit more long form. So you
Hmm.
people go into it with the intent of expecting a little bit more time commitment when they consume
Yeah.
something. So it's really just about understanding the platform and optimizing your content for that where you want to post it.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Okay. And I guess our final tip is number 10, some extras. So what do you have for us here?
So you've mentioned it a lot, but visuals tend to increase your engagement
Hmm.
much more than just text. So obviously, I think like X or Twitter, that tends to be much more text based.
Hmm.
But again, it's understanding what platform you're on.
Yeah.
But when somebody sees something on Facebook that has a visual included, even if it's just that text with or like that shortened text post with the background behind it, I think you know what the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's something that's going to stand out more than just a very small line of text.
Yeah.
So you want something that's going to catch the attention of someone. But again, it's understanding the platform you're on and what is optimized for that. Um, Hashtags are, I would say, not as vital as they used to be.
Yeah.
They're good for searching, but really it's about the SEO of it, of the
Hmm.
post, the search engine optimization.
Yeah.
Hashtags make they make you include certain keywords
Hmm.
naturally, but if your caption tends to include specific words throughout it, it's going to be just as effective as the hashtags are.
Yeah.
Um, but the geotags, including your location in
Hmm.
something,
Right.
is really important.
Very.
Um,
Hmm.
because the social media platform is going to push your content to who is around you. So if you are a local small booth or a store, you are going to start exposing your content to your local community, and you're much more
Yeah.
likely to hit the right audience.
Right, absolutely. And even to take that a step further, so whatever options are available, say for Instagram, they always say, audio will perform better. So if they give you the option of adding an audio clip to your post, maybe give that a try. So the
Mhm.
more more things that the platform gives you to include, give it a shot because they're gonna like that more that you're using everything that's available there and keeping people on their platform more. So, I try both ways, audio, no audio, but I always include either the city I'm in or the location tag of my store.
Mhm.
So I think that's a great tip.
And I think it's really important to understand that these platforms will continue to change over time. So what
Mm-hmm.
works now isn't going to work 5 years from now, and it definitely
Mm-hmm.
didn't work 5 years ago. So always understand what your best performing content is and push
Yeah.
that the most. But like you said, it kind of said earlier, leave room for things to experiment with.
Yeah.
Just try something out, see how your audience responds to it.
Right. Absolutely.
Just because someone else isn't responding to it with their community doesn't mean yours will do the same thing. So just try it out, see what works for you, what doesn't, and just be continually open to evolving your content over time.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a great point. Anything else that you want to add?
No, like I said, if you're interested in the full guide, feel
Hmm.
free to reach out, leave a comment, and I will reach out to you with this. I would love to see or hear from you to see what works. If you're
Hmm.
able to implement any of these points,
Absolutely.
please feel free to share your success stories, share them with the community here at Vintage Booth Pro. We want to know what is working for you and how you're growing your business.
And one thing we didn't talk about, and it might be another thing that might be worthy of follow-up, is paying for ads. So do you spend on ads? Do you not? We prefer to have organic leads that just come into our booth, but that's not always the case. So
Mhm.
maybe that's a good follow-up question. Would ads work for a vintage booth? Maybe something worth testing out and giving a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. We at Rhynes have started kind of testing with that just
Hmm.
to see how the market's responding. It's not something that needs a huge monetary commitment.
Exactly. Right.
But really, if social media is new for you, I would just get used to the
Oh,
platform right now.
right. Hmm.
And then as you get comfortable, as you see what works, then down the line, at really just being able to justify it with returns in your business. If you can tell that people are coming in, then reinvesting some of that money back into ads, like you said, it's a great way to grow it even more.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, well, I think this is a really great start. I have some ideas of future things we can talk about on videos or blog posts or whatever you want to do. And I'd love to know any questions from the community and how we can help. So please comment on the video or on Facebook. We'll get back to you.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, John. We'll talk to you on the next video.
Bye.
Bye.